I drive because I love my children on the bus. I started off driving to be at home with my children on snow days and holidays. And in that 24-year time that I've been with the county, I have enjoyed every child on my bus and the families and the connections I've met.
Why do I drive? I drive because of the students. It's those students that make my day. You make relationship with these students, and even after they graduate from high school, they'll come up and give you a hug and let you know that they appreciate you and what you did.
I love driving a school bus because I had a school bus driver that I admired, and I always watched her, and she was a great person, and that challenged me to be a good bus driver. And I was a trainer for 2 years for Roanoke County, and I loved it. I enjoyed showing people what I do.
This is a family. We consider ourselves part of the transportation family. And once you become part of the family, you stay part of the family. We learn about each other's family, we support each other, we're there for each other, and we have fun while we're doing it. We get to help the students, we get to be there for them and support them.
2021 Roanoke County School Board meeting. We were in closed session. Mr. Linden, would you read us out of closed session, please?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I move that the Roanoke County School Board come out of closed session for the following: to discuss ongoing personnel matters under investigation pursuant to the personnel exemption at 2.2-3711A1 of the Code of Virginia. And I also move to certify that to the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements under this chapter, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened, were heard, discussed, or considered in the meeting by the school board.
Second. All right, Madam Clerk, the roll.
Mr. Moretz?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Linden?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Greenway is absent. Mr. Ray?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Butzer?
Yes, ma'am. And there was no action from closed session, so would you stand and join with the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty. Okay. All right. Are there any changes to the agenda?
No, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approve the agenda.
Second.
702.
All right. Madam Clerk, the roll.
Mr. Moretz?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Linden?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ray?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Butzer?
Yes, ma'am. Item 6, hearing of citizens and delegations. We have one, I believe, this evening, Eric Russ. Just state your name and your address, please.
Eric Russ, 562 Midsummer Circle, Vinton, Virginia.
Pardon, excuse me. Yes, go ahead, proceed.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for letting me speak. Thank you to the board for letting me speak. I'm a student at Hidden Valley High School and at Burton Center. I apologize, I'm nervous.
Oh, don't be, please. Relax. You're just talking to a bunch of folks here.
Yeah.
Relax. I'm glad that you're here, really. Take your time.
This year, on the 26th of February, I was informed by my teacher that I would not be able to complete the necessary curriculum for my certification for networking. Now, I went around and I started, collecting information. Excuse me. I started collecting information, I discussed with the Burton principal, and he, in my discussion, I found out that we had the opportunity to come back next year, seniors.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I apologize. My concern is that has not been publicized well, because it's not been mentioned on the morning announcements, nor has it been sent out in an email. And I apologize.
Okay.
My concern is that we just need to, make that more known. Thank you.
Thank you. Great. We'll have someone talk to you just to get the whole story and,
Sounds good. Thank you.
yeah, thank you for coming. All right. Okay, report by the Student Advisory Council, Mr. Mark Linkus. I see you're recovering from your surgery.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, and Dr. Nicely. My name is Mark Linkus. I'm a senior at Glenver High School. The Student Advisory Council last met on March 3rd over a WebEx call to discuss plans for the upcoming RCPS Student Leadership Conference. Just like the student leadership conferences of the past years, the aim of this event is to teach students about being great leaders, or what great leaders look like, and how they can lead as students and as part of the community. With the conference being held at the end of April virtually, members of the planning committee were able to discuss with other SAC members about the best ways the word can be spread to all students in the schools for this event and how this event will be laid out, as well as who the potential guest speakers could be. Overall, the input given from all the SAC members present resulted in a great time of planning. As always, thank you for your ongoing support of the Student Advisory Council.
All right, thank you. So how are you healing? Okay?
Very well, yes.
Oh, good.
Really no pain. It's just can't really weight bear for the next 3 weeks.
Right, and then rehab, I guess, right?
Lots of rehab.
That'll hurt a little bit. All right.
Good luck.
Thank you. Good luck. All right. The next item is the consent agenda. I just want to remind, as we try and do, is that the items that are included in consent agendas are really discussed in a lot of detail at our work sessions. So it's not that we're just approving something here without talking about it or deliberating on it. So may I have a motion to
So
approve
moved.
consent?
Second.
All right, Madam Clerk, the roll.
Mr. Moretz?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Linden?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ray?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Butzer?
Yes, ma'am. All right, I believe we have some introductions of some personnel changes tonight.
Mr. Chairman, board members, Dr. Nicely, as you can tell tonight, there's definitely a buzz in this room of excitement. I'm very pleased to introduce you to not one, but two new principals to Roanoke County Schools. The first one is going to be Jenny Griffin. Jenny comes to us from Glenver Elementary and Fort Lewis Elementary as a assistant principal there. Prior to that, she was a teacher in Botetourt County, so we're glad we were able to get her back on this side. And before that, she actually started her career at Penn Forest. So in a sense, Jenny's coming back home. So we were very excited to have her as our new principal starting for the 2021 school year at Penn Forest Elementary. Okay.
I just want to thank all of you guys here at the school board, Dr. Nicely, Dr. McClung, Ms. Hogan, and everybody here at central office. And as he said, it's a homecoming for me. As an eager college student, I got hired at Penn Forest, and now it's exciting that I'll be on the other side of that desk. And Roanoke County has given me all my first opportunities in the educational world, my first teaching position, my first assistant principal position, and now principalship. So I can't wait to work in your area, Mr. Ray, and thank you, Mr. Butzer, for everything. It's been a great opportunity to serve under you as well, and I'm looking forward to all the great things that I can do here under Roanoke County and at Penn Forest. So thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Welcome aboard.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah. Ms. Griffin,
Never mind.
I'd just like to say, I look forward to working with you, being there. I like hands-on. I like to attend, and Karen can vouch for that, Ms. Pendleton. So, I've known her for many years. And, my wife taught in that district for so many years, many of her 33 years of teaching. And it's a great school. It's a lot of good support over there with the parents. So I think you'll find it a very good fit. And we certainly look forward to having you over there. And if you need anything, you give me a call.
Thank you, sir. I look forward to you being there, and we look forward to our partnership.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
And next, staying in the Cave Spring area, I'd like to introduce Haley Deeds as the Cave Spring High School principal. Haley currently is the assistant principal at Cave Spring High School. Prior to that, she was the assistant principal at Burton. Before that, she was a teacher at Northside Middle, Fort Lewis Elementary, Oak Grove Elementary. I think I got them all. So Haley brings an extreme wealth of knowledge and instruction and everything, and I think she's going to carry on the nice tradition at Cave Spring High School. So we're very proud to and happy to be able to introduce Haley Deeds as the principal at Cave Spring High School.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Board. I am so honored and humbled for the opportunity to serve as the next principal at Cave Spring High School. That school is an amazing school with the best students, staff, and community, and I can't wait to continue to be a part of it. I'd like to thank you, Board, and Dr. Nicely for trusting me with such an important role to impact so many lives moving forward. I'd also like to recognize and thank Mr. Steve Spangler for the amazing leader that he is and continues to be. He is one of the main reasons I'm here today, for the opportunity and the trust and just guidance and support that he has given me along the way. So I'd like to recognize and thank him as well. I can't wait to continue to be a knight and support our faculty and staff and students and community in our new building and just continue to carry on the knight tradition. I'm very proud to be a knight. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, Ms. Deeds, I usually call you Haley, but Ms. Deeds, certainly, you just fit in so nicely over there. You went through a lot of things, from trailers to mold to a new building that we couldn't even use, in the COVID. And, you stepped up to every cost, and you had a baby in the meantime.
Yes,
during all this, and I think he's got some Cave Spring color shoes.
Yes, sir. Rocking the red and black already.
Yeah, I was thinking he might start talking now since his mother got up and got, but I've always, I knew from the start when I was over there that you were the right hand person for Mr. Spangler, and you certainly stepped up, and you have worked hard during these times when we were scheduling and everything that was going on during this time. So it's well deserved.
Thank you, sir.
And I look forward to being over there working with you. So
Thank you for your support.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Deeds, congratulations. I think it was 2009 when our paths first crossed back at Northside, and back then I saw the enthusiasm that you had and the way that the students just gravitated toward you, and really it's been impressive, your enthusiasm. So I know you're going to do a fantastic job over there. So I just wanted to say congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And lastly, I'd just like to reiterate what Mr. Ray said. It didn't go unnoticed by me at all about what you've been through, and the Cave Spring High School community, family over there with the problems we had with the old building, as you recall. It was a disaster. What we went through with the new building, we didn't know if we were going to have it or not. We did get it, and you were with them through thick and thin. Meanwhile, as you know, pregnant. That's what a great story. Well deserved. Appreciate it. I'm also a fan of your husband's too. Good to see you, John.
Yeah,
you.
all right. He's not bad. Congratulations,
pretty
Haley.
amazing.
Super happy for you. So, I didn't think it, when we talked Tuesday night, it's like, I don't know if Dr. Nice is going to make a decision that quickly, but darned if he, not that he made it quickly, but, I'm just
I
super
appreciate
excited.
it.
You have I love your family. I love working with your husband, your time at Oak Grove when my kids were there. I'm just super pleased. I'm happy for you, your family, but I'm also happy for the students of Cave Spring. So I wish you nothing but success. Thank you so much.
There's one other thing I wanted to notice. We've got some real girl power going on here. 5 high schools and 5 women principals.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. All right.
If you see her, you can be her.
That's right. That's right. Good. I
All
think
right,
that's
thank
great.
you guys so much.
Thank you.
Great. You're welcome. Oh, next. Okay. All right. Action items, surplus request, Mr. Brian Weeks. It's your annual visit.
That's right.
All
Good
right.
evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Dr. Nicely. This is a pretty easy action item, I guess. We have some old English materials for secondary and elementary that we need to see about surplusing. That's just, I think they're getting some serious age on them, and it's time to consider letting them go. So that's Prentice Hall literature, writing and grammar for the secondary, and the Journey series for the elementary stuff. You all have any questions about this?
Just a quick one. When we surplus these things, does someone purchase them, or they just get destroyed in some way?
Usually, we sell a big lot of these items, and sometimes
Right.
there gets to be some sample books mixed in with them that have actual value, because sometimes the stuff that
Oh, I see.
we're
Okay.
selling doesn't have really any street value, so they just take it, and it may end up getting thrown away. I'm not really sure. As long as it leaves, then with a little bit of money getting sent back to us, then I don't usually question where it goes. But
Sure.
I mean, if you all were interested in donating it or something like that, we could look into what the other localities might need. But I usually just put it on public surplus website and go from there.
Thank you. Any questions? May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
All right, Madam Clerk, the roll.
Mr. Moretz?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Linden?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ray?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Butzer?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you all.
All right. You're welcome, Brian. Information agenda 10.01, Annual World Language and ELL Presentation. Ms. Cammie Williams, good evening.
Good evening, Chairman Butzer, members of the school board, Dr. Nicely. Good news always starts with our students, and we are going to hear a lot from them this evening. I'd like to highlight what difference it makes to have a successful ELL and world language program. First of all, we'll start with our recent graduates. We'll hear from a Hidden Valley student shortly. We have a Cave Spring High School graduate studying at William & Mary. Dr. Nicely, you'll be glad to hear that, with the hopes of working for the CIA or State Department. They require a major in a language, and she is currently continuing her French that she began at Cave Spring High School. We have another recent graduate who is now an ELL teacher in Colorado. Other big news that you might have seen involves one of our former L's and former Spanish students, Daniel Pereira. He was the first draft in the MLS this year, and boy, is that big news. And he started his ELL career in Roanoke County, so that's something for us to be proud of. Just some fun facts to start off the evening. One teacher noted that she communicates a lot by simply smiling, and this was robbed from her this year. However, principal to the rescue, they bought masks with clear inserts, and so now she can not only be seen by her language students, but they can also see her smile, and so she was grateful for that. If you notice our little friend in the left-hand corner, we generally, in the clothing units, allow students to do a fashion show, talk about what they're wearing, what their friends are wearing, and those are occurring virtually this year, so we had some unexpected guests in the fashion show. All cultural events have also been virtual, and we had a cultural experience with the bûche de Noël, which is the Christmas cake that is traditional to France. Next.
The majority of your weather either starts with hace or son. ¿Cuál es la última película que viste? What am I asking in the second one? And última significa last, not like ultimate, okay?
One of the great things that I've really discovered about this is my planning style, where I've always felt like I have operated on a backwards design basis. This has forced me to do it on a macro level to decide exactly where I can get these kids to by the end of the year, and with the ultimate goal of them just using the language, which is a very difficult challenge in light of mask, in light of having technology to learn how to use it correctly, and to get the kids at home to engage with each other, and to ensure that the kids at home want to come to class.
Yo vi El Lion en the City of 1,000 Planets.
Okay.
Sí me gustó porque hoy hemos tiempo y interesante.
When you're going from a day-to-day class basis, you're like, oh, those are the things, I want to do this and I want to do that, and you just never have the time because you're always running to stay with the next class. And this has really forced me to do that planning on that front end. And I will also say I am blessed with an extremely supportive department overall from the county, because I didn't start the beginning of the year off. I was still on maternity leave, and I had the support of Julie Wright from Cave Spring to really show me how to do these PowerPoints, how to make them engaging, and how to get your kids to come to class.
There where they are now? Muy bien. Eso. Santiago de Compostela, okay? So aquí está Santiago de Compostela. This is the province of Galicia, and he's right there. They've been hanging out in this area, but now she's going to meet him right there, and that's actually the end of that hiking trail. They're just going to walk it on.
こんにちは。はじめまして。私の名前はジリエンです。よろしくお願いします。So, hello, my name is Jillian Leyenberger, and I am a graduate from Hidden Valley High School, and I am currently a freshman at Clemson University studying Japanese. I would like to thank the school board for supporting world languages, because as our society grows more interconnected, it's more important than ever for us to be connected with our languages too, and to understand each other's cultures. So a little bit about how Latin helped me with my Japanese major. I did Latin for 5 years and took the AP exam. It helped me develop the skills to learn languages. So while you don't necessarily speak Latin, and reading it and writing it is very difficult, it helped me develop the skills and tools and the mindset of how to learn a language. And with that, sayonara!
So you might be asking, how did we get there? Well, world language teachers started working immediately when we switched to remote learning a year ago. Can you believe it's been a year? To develop learning modules that were helpful but not overwhelming to students in this environment. Then the teachers continued over the summer, developing 10 new World Language Academy classes and working to improve technology use in our hybrid environment. You can imagine that this took a lot of professional learning, and that has continued. We have the example, if you'll go back, we have the example of 3 Latin teachers, one from Cave Spring High School, one from Northside High School, and one from Hidden Valley High School. The one on the left attended a presentation and then did a summary so that all teachers could see how to catch them all, even though you've got a challenging circumstance. On the right, you'll see what is actually a math program. It's called Desmos. You may have heard students talking about it with the computer. We have a Latin teacher, Laura Green at Northside High School, and she has taken examples from this program and now uses it in her Latin classes with her students. She can overlay samples of their work and see which problems students are having in common, and therefore she targets her corrections to serve them most effectively. And then at the bottom, you'll see Tim Spence. He is our Blackboard guru, and he said even though in the past he's been the provider of information to the whole Latin team, he has learned an enormous amount and continues to share with his colleagues. We also have some honors. If we go to the next slide, you'll see a picture of Barbara Hassel. She's our German teacher at William Byrd High School and at Northside High School, and she served through the virtual summer academy as an instructor this past year. Today, we just got the great news that not only is Barbara going to do this again, but Alan Strecker, who is the German teacher at Northside High School, has also been asked. I've never heard of 2 teachers in one language being asked to serve as instructors in the academies. So that's really quite an honor for our program, and we're grateful that that has continued. We go to slide 7. We also know that this is not just a teacher-student issue. We have had great support from our principals, including retiring principals Steve Spangler and Karen Pendleton, and we have support here tonight with Jill Green from Northside. And most recently, she and I and Spanish teacher Crystal Wagner attended a virtual ESEA conference that was twofold. One was to learn about implementing laws correctly for title programs, but in addition to that, we learned ways to promote learning and family engagement for our ELs. We're going to follow that up this Wednesday with a combined PD for all of our ELL teachers across the district and teachers at Northside High School. We're looking forward to that. Speaking of engaging and caring for ELs and all students, if we take a look at the next slide, you'll see that Green Valley is a welcoming place, and that this also is being emphasized through their new initiative of 4 houses across grade levels to create one big family. Next. ELL teachers have also thought about instruction in all new ways. You'll see Faith Griffin and her student from Glenver, and then Pam Anderson and her 2 students from Cave Spring. It may or may not be evident, but if you were close, you would see even with the masks on, we've got some smiling eyes there. And then the students have learned how to use the smiling emojis to signify that they're understanding what's going on. We also found out that students need that relationship to engage. And we know that throughout the years, students have found ways to get lost in the hallways, right? Well, instead of getting lost in the hallways, now they're getting lost as they go into a room to turn on a computer. And I am most grateful to our ELL team that has literally rescued some students and brought them back into instruction, and it was because of their persistence. And so we certainly appreciate their efforts. All right, Next.
Red-headed N-R-N. Good. Pat, they call him. What's his name? That's his name. Pat sat on Pat.
The teacher, man, they're so nice, yeah. And like whenever I need help with my homework or I'm struggling, I just tell them, and they help me out.
You know, my parents in my home country, I left them when I was like 15 years old, and I decided, you know, to make a better future for myself and continue my education. So I moved to the U.S. when I was 15 years old, and when first I got here, I was like, I don't want to go to school, and it was too much thing going on, and I decided, and 4 months later, I decided to go to school. And first, like, couple months, it was, like, really hard. Like, no one speak Arabic here, and I don't know no one in different culture, too. So I decided, like, to not give up and keep trying. So I learned English from my ELO teachers, and they were, like, super nice and, like, really friendly and they really worked hard with me. So that's how I learned English. But, like, from all, like, the war and all this things going on in Syria, we're always, like, on lockdown and all these things. That's why I decided to, like, leave my family and come to America.
I was doing all my homeworks with her, and then when we were done, we kind of talked, because she thought, like, we didn't talk, and then we did history in every class in that class, so, yeah. Kind of like every class.
Yeah. So what about with Mrs. Coates? What kind of things do you do with her?
So we do, like, a lot of English, especially, you know, the idioms and the words that we need to learn or can help when we read, and then we write facts and themes and, you know.
So even though your English is so good, you're still learning new things like idioms and...
I'm not good. So yeah.
And those were just 3 of our 574 current Ls that we have in Roanoke County who speak over 44 languages. We're very grateful that they're part of our community. This last quote sums it up. I just wanted to say thank you. As someone who is high risk and can't come to class, I wanted to say I appreciate that you make all of your lessons accessible to online students. I also wanted to thank you for having such an interactive, synchronous classes. I really feel included in class and like I'm learning, and that was a William Byrd High School Spanish student. And once again, we are most grateful that Roanoke County is a place that supports ELS and world language programs. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Action item number 11, report by Superintendent Dr. Nicely.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank you, Ms. Williams, for that presentation. March, I was noting, is a month of different emphases. I think it's CTE month, middle school month, but certainly the emphasis on world languages is sort of near and dear to my heart. Ms. Williams and I actually started our teaching career together back at Cave Spring High School, and she was very helpful to me, and I'm so grateful for the great work that she's done in leading not only our world language effort, but as you heard, the efforts with our classes for English language learners. If you can imagine being someone who's a student coming into our schools who speaks little to no English, the intimidation that goes along with that. These guys do such a great job, not only teaching them and helping them to learn English, but just supporting them, along the way. So thank you, Ms. Williams, for that presentation. Just a few announcements. So this Monday, we're very excited. As the board knows, we're starting the last phase of our expandable schedule plan. So on Monday, March 15th, our fifth graders who are currently on the hybrid schedule will be returning for the 4-day-a-week instruction. And then the following Monday, students in the middle schools and the high schools also on the hybrid plan will be returning for the in-person learning 4 days a week. So we're very excited for that. Appreciate all the hard work of our teachers, our principals, all the problem solving and innovative solutions they find in order to make this happen. So just thank them for that, and looking forward to having our students back with us 4 days a week in those grades. A couple of other recognitions, and some of these we'll be bringing back for the board formally, but we just received word that Karen Hicks, who's a chemistry teacher at Glenver High School, has been named the Outstanding High School Chemistry Teacher for 2021 by the Virginia Blue Ridge section of American Chemical Society. So we'll bring her back, but just excited about that. Also, we just received word this week that a Northside High School student, Tobias Rollon, has been named as the Outstanding Apprentice Award from the Virginia Department of Labor and Industry, and he's an apprentice currently with G&H Contracting, and just so grateful for the success of that program with our apprentice. So we'll again bring that back for some more formal recognitions. Lots of good learning going on, especially in the science world. The students who are in our high schools who also attend the Roanoke Valley Governor School just completed their project forum, and we had a number of our own high school students place in that forum. And we've also completed the Roanoke County Middle School Science Fair, and which was also done on a virtual basis, and had several of our students do really well with that. And our first place winner for that will be moving on to the Broadcast Masters National Competition. So lots of good things happening in our schools. We want to congratulate our students for those successes, but also especially our teachers for supporting the students in their success. That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Dr. Nicely. Mr. Linden?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Can't help but hear in the news that we're right around the 1 year anniversary of COVID, and I just wanted to reiterate Dr. Nicely's comments. You staff, Dr. Nicely, Dr. McClung, Dr. Stegall, Dr. Hogan, Mr. Riley, and all our teachers. You guys have just done such an incredible job of getting us to the point where we are, and looking forward to getting all those kids back in the classroom. I am confident that Roanoke County Public Schools have navigated through this last 12 months better than any other public school district in the state. So I just wanted to say thank you for that, and I appreciate all the work that has gone into it, and I know it has been intense. So thank you.
No, just want to thank Mrs. Williams. I do look forward to, to her coming in every year as a, 5-year German student at Northside under Frau Waters. I learned quite a bit from her, and, I think we have a strong program here. You had mentioned Green Valley. I had the privilege of going over there on Monday and witness some of the preschoolers and some of the fifth graders, get chosen for their house. And, I was lucky enough to be chosen for Altruismo. Is that okay? All right. So that's the house I'm at Green Valley. But, the kids were so excited, and the staff there, and just everything that the teachers have done this year, to make the kids feel welcome, to make it, seem as normal as possible. And as we move more kids back on Monday, and then, the rest the following Monday, once again, just, want to thank all of our teachers there. I know that we probably still have some that are a little apprehensive, and, and I completely understand that, but I am encouraged by the numbers, and, the fact that we've got a lot of our teachers vaccinated now. I think Dr. Nicely said we were, close to 78%, at least who we've heard back from. So, we support you. We thank you. We know you're going to be ready to welcome those kids back, and I know they're going to be super excited to see you more than twice a week. So thanks again, teachers, for all you do, and look forward to hearing some of the stories over the next couple of weeks of more kids in the building.
Mr. Ray?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Ms. Williams. We certainly do, as Mr. Moret said, enjoy hearing and look forward to your presentation, and being a former Latin student at Cave Spring, and my brother went on to teach Latin for 35 years. So, and he was a Cave Spring student. So the program it's very important. I think it's special when you have that learning of whether it be Latin, when they called it dead language, but it's used in a lot of English interpretation, and it's important for our students and young people to learn a different language. And we thank you and all the effort that everyone puts in for that. And as some other board members have said, we're so, we have been very progressive from the beginning. It wasn't always popular, but we moved forward. Our staff that were mentioned, you have, and Dr. Nicely, leading this the way, has always been progressive on getting more students back in school. And so I think, and the teachers have stepped up to every level that we have gone to. And we know that they have the leadership of our team, and they have the confidence. That's one thing you have to have to move forward. And they have the confidence that they can move forward. And you do it in a systematic manner. You don't just say, do this. You really, you do it in where you're with them through the whole process. And that means so much. It's not just do it and I'm walking out the door. You're there with the rough spots. And so, it just proved that we have been very, progressive from the beginning and continue to, from all sort of a leader, of being, of learning and our online learning as well. So we thank you very much, and look forward to getting those students back in school and for the last 9 weeks, and it'll be very exciting. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Sure. And not to be repetitive, but I will, just the amount of planning and execution that has gone into to get us to where we are right now in this last 9 weeks has been incredibly impressive. And not that I think the school system is seeking recognition, but I don't think it gets the recognition that it deserves statewide. When you hear about some of the things they're talking about nationally, they're still struggling with things that we did or implemented 7 months ago. And they're still struggling with it. It's a credit to the leadership and especially the staff. But it was like any successful business or sports franchise. It's planning and execution, and I think the school system should be proud of what it's done. I know I am. I say it all the time. So with that, meeting adjourned. Thank you.